Hello friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Maggie and I'm in Northwest Arkansas, and this is a channel all about cross stitch and other crafts. Today is Friday, July 4th, so happy Independence Day to everybody in the States. I'm off work today and thought I would get up early and film before everybody gets up and moving. Everybody's home today. We have some fun plans later today and tomorrow to celebrate the 4th, and my dad's coming in town. He's coming in from Oklahoma and he's going to stay the night with us tonight. And my husband's family's coming over tomorrow. We're going to do a fish fry, so we're looking forward to that as well. This is Flosstube episode number 17. It's been a month since I filmed my last regular Flosstube video. My last one was on June 4th. And then about 2 weeks ago, I filmed a mid-year whip parade. So if you missed that and want to go check it out, I show all of the projects that are currently works in progress. So what am I going to show you today? I actually have a new start for Jolly July that I will show you. I have some haul and a couple of things that I was able to work on between now and the last time you saw this, if you saw the whip parade. But we've been really busy again. I thought after the month of May with our middle son graduating high school that things would kind of slow down and I'd have a little bit more time to stitch, but so far that hasn't been the case, and that's okay. We're having a really good summer, but I do miss just that nightly stitching time to kind of unwind. Just to go into a little bit more detail of what's been going on here. We went 2 weekends ago, we did a little summer vacation. It was a road trip. We're in Northwest Arkansas, so we drove about 9 or 10 hours to northern Kentucky, and it's been on our bucket list for a little while to go to the Ark Encounter. The Ark is actually built to the specifications in the Bible, and so it's it's huge. And it was really cool to walk through it and just kind of imagine what it looked like back in that time in Noah's days. But so we went to the Ark Encounter one day, and then another day we went to the Creation Museum, which basically is just a museum that you walk through, and it shows you creation from a biblical view, and how that compares to some of the other beliefs, and it was really, really interesting. So we picked up a couple of souvenirs from that trip. This is from the Creation Museum. I like to pick up books in places where we go just to kind of have something to refer back to and read. This book has everything that was on display in the Creation Museum. So there's a lot of reading in the museum, and if it's crowded at all, it's somewhat difficult to get up close to read some of the exhibits and things that they have. So this is actually the museum in book form, and so that's why I wanted to pick it up so that I could just refer back to it and really read all the details, because it is so interesting. But just the back here says, the Creation Museum in Kentucky is a perfect place to discover the true history of our world. Filled with world-class exhibits, the museum takes guests on a tour through the 7 seas of history, beginning in Genesis, showing the historical and scientific accuracy of Scripture. So it was a really, really cool place. I highly recommend this if you have not visited to this museum. And then I picked up a similar book at the Ark. This doesn't include everything that is on display at the Ark, but it does have a lot of the detail, like how the Ark was built, and just some history in that time, and the animals and all of that. And the back says, just for your reference, the Ark Encounter in Kentucky is not just a massive replica of Noah's Ark, but also a powerful teaching tool to share with others. For those who have walked along its decks and viewed the detailed exhibits, a wealth of information is revealed to strengthen their faith. So I highly recommend this place too. It's really incredible. They also have an area out back that has a petting zoo and a camel that young ones can ride. And we actually talked our 13-year-old into riding. I would have actually ridden the camel myself, but there was, you had to be under 18, and he was the only one in our group that was under 18. So go and ride the camel and experience something that he hadn't before, and he did it. He was a good sport, and we've got some fun video of that. So we went to those 2 places, and then while we were, so those are like in northern Kentucky, and then so we were really close to the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and so one day we went up to the Cincinnati Zoo. So I got this shirt there. They're actually celebrating their 150-year birthday this year, so we got shirts to commemorate that. And it was super hot that day, but we were able to feed the giraffes, which was really fun. They have some long tongues, and they're purple. But it was fun. We've got some fun video of that as well. What else did we do? We saw a bird show while we were there, and it's just a beautiful zoo. I don't know the ranking of the zoo in the United States, but it's up there as one of the best ones in the United States from what I've read. And that's evident when you walk through it because of the botanical gardens and things that they have incorporated along the exhibits and things. So that was a really, really neat place, and I'm glad that we finally got to experience that. So after that, while we were in the Cincinnati area, we stopped by someplace really special, and I actually have some footage that I'll pop in right here, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more. So enjoy this. Keepsakes. That was my very first time to visit Keepsakes. It's even more incredible in person. And my husband and my two younger sons were there with us, and they kind of walked around. Jeremy, my husband, was really just enamored with the architecture of the building itself. It's like an old home that was ordered off a Sears catalog, I believe. And so he had pulled up the plans on his phone, and he was kind of walking each room, and he was just making comments like, this is the original trim, or these are the original doors, and he was just really fascinated with that history. He loves that like architectural history of old homes and buildings and things, and so that gave me a lot of time to shop and not worry about trying to rush, because they were enjoying themselves too. So that was a nice surprise. So I went through every room like you saw in the video, and just looked at everything. They have so many just models and finishes up on the wall, and it's just so fun to just look through all of that stuff. And I did pick up a few things, and I'll show that in my haul section. But that was a really, really fun trip. And this was like a few days after the second weekend, like weekend B of StitchCon had wrapped up. And so I wasn't expecting to see Stephanie there, but she said that they actually don't go on vacation until later, because they have to take inventory and do a lot of like reorganizing and things to restock and all of that after the two StitchCon weekends. And so she was there, and I got to meet her. As you saw in the video, we got our picture, my husband took our picture, and so that was really, really fun. That was a fun day and a fun memory, and I'm really happy that we were able to go. So after that, we did some shopping, and just went to an arcade and did some things like that. But then on the way home, we realized that we were driving through Claus Indiana, and if you guys have watched for any length of time, you know that I'm like a huge Santa Claus fan. At Christmas, that's the theme that I really like to decorate with and incorporate into our decorations and our tree and things. And so we went to we stopped through, and I had extremely low expectations. I didn't know what to expect, but this whole town is literally like a Christmas town. The streets have Christmas names like Mistletoe Lane, and things like that. And they have their grocery store is called Holiday Foods, I think is what it's called. And then next door to the grocery store is like this huge Christmas store. And so we went in and shopped that. I mean, there was probably 10, 12 rooms in that place, just full of all kinds of things that you could buy, decor and village pieces and all kinds of things, nutcrackers. They had an area in the back where little ones could sit with Santa, like during the December month, late November, December. And next to it was a little bakery inside there where you could get some cookies and milk and drinks and candies, chocolates, and they had some cafe style tables sitting around there too, so that you could just kind of wait your turn, I guess, as you're waiting for your kids to see Santa. They had places for everybody to sit, and it was just a really, really neat store. But this is the little brochure that I picked up from the Santa Claus Village. So this they have this huge statue of Santa Claus, and it's 22 feet tall, and it weighs 40 tons, and it was built in 1935. And so they have like the original post office there from that time frame, and like an old church that was built in the 1880s. And then just this whole history of how the town got its name, and just the story of a man there who was the town Santa Claus.
children wonderful people when Santa Claus all their needs to his people.
Actually picked up a couple of books from there as well, and this one is the little bit of the back says Santa Claus Indiana acquired its famous name in 1856 and has been celebrating the spirit of Christmas ever since. Postmaster James Martin began answering children's letters to Santa and his elves in 1914, a tradition that continues to this day and makes Santa Claus a favored destination for those seeking the holiday spirit. And there's more that it talks about, but that's the original Santa there, and this sleigh is there at the museum as well outside. But it was just a really, really neat place. So I picked that book up. If you guys are Santa Claus fans at all, I highly recommend it. I didn't even know the place existed. I also got this book. So this is the daughter of the Santa Claus of the town. Her name is Pat. And the lady that was checking us out there at the museum little gift shop said that she's in her 90s now, and she actually still comes to the shop and helps as she can and greets guests. It's just really, really neat. So I'm looking forward to reading these two books for sure. I also picked up a couple of postcards because I want to. I participate in December Daily every year, so it's a memory keeping documenting project from Allie Edwards. And so for the month of December 1 through 20, the first day 1 through 25, you tell a story a day, and this will definitely be one of those stories. It doesn't have to be something Allie has teaches in her classes. It doesn't have to be something that happens that day or even in the month. Like, you can pull stories from other moments in time, like this, for example, that are Christmas related or not, or from the Christmas past, from like when I was a kid, which I've done before. But you just get an album, and every day you tell a story. And so this is going to be one of my stories, and I picked up a couple of postcards to put in the album from the museum. So it's just really, really neat. And this is a picture of his name is Jim Yelling. So on the back it says, Santa Jim Yelling was the face of Santa Claus Indiana for over 50 years. As a resident Santa at Santa Claus Land, Santa Jim listened to the wishes of tens of thousands of children. His legacy lives on today in the work of Santa's Elves, a group of volunteers dedicated to answering children's letters sent to Santa Claus. Isn't that neat? Oh, I just love it. I love all that history. But I will mention, while we're talking about it, you can actually send a letter to Santa. Your kids can write a letter to Santa Claus, and he will write you back. And here's that address if you want to screenshot it. So, of course, while we were there, I sat down. They had like little desks that you would imagine in an old schoolhouse, and I sat down in one and wrote a letter from our family to Santa Claus, and we mailed it in the little mailbox there. And if you jingle the bells, the elves will come and get it and take it straight to the North Pole. But yeah, I just loved every bit of that. So yeah, if you want to have your kids mail a letter to this address and have it postmarked, by this date, they will receive a letter from Santa Claus in return. So hopefully you guys can take advantage of that if you want, because I think it's super fun. So that was all of our vacation, our summer vacation this year. And then last weekend, I went with my sister to St. Louis to help move my oldest niece into her very first apartment. So we spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning shopping for furniture and things for her kitchen, and just getting her things to help her make her little apartment home, her first home away from home. She was living with friends prior, but this is like her first real apartment just by herself. So that was really fun. And then here we are. This week we've been decorating at church for VBS. So Vacation Bible School starts next week. So if you're on Instagram, I'm kind of sharing some things that we had done, decorating that we have done at the church this week for the VBS theme this year. My Instagram is Home on the Ridge, so that's home.on.the.ridge if you don't already follow me over there. So that's been fun, and just work. So I haven't had a whole lot of stitching time in all of that, but we have been enjoying ourselves, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun summer. This is our last summer with Jonah officially at home before he goes off to college. So we're trying to soak up every last moment with him. Anyway, so with that, I'll get into my stitching that I did do. This is, I'll start with my unicorn chart. So I did do a little bit of stitching on this before I went on vacation too. So they go like this. These are the Judith Kirby Victorian houses. This is house number 9. This is from 1989. And this one is from 94, house number 15. And if you stitch them together, one complements the other, but you can stitch them together like she did here on the back, and that's what I'm planning to do. So it makes one scene all together. And the last time I shared this was my whip parade, and I've made a little bit of progress since then. So I think it was right here. I had finished all of this and then up to this tree. And so I carried up this darker brown and I started working on the branches and doing a little bit of that back stitching on the branches. This is stitched on 32 count Lagana in the color Stormy Night. And I believe it says Zweigart. But I am absolutely loving this, you guys. This obviously the gate will continue on when I stitch the second part. And so I have just the top of the tree. There's a lot of branches, a lot of back stitch and some leaves that I still have to go. And then this whole pattern will be finished here on this side. So you can see I started working my way up, but I've still got a little bit to go in that spider web in the tree I need to stitch. And I don't know if I'm gonna stitch this border around or not. I haven't decided yet. So I'm saving that till last until I make that decision. But yeah, once I get that tree finished, then I'll be able to start on the second half. This has been such a fun stitch. And this fabric is actually, it's printed. It's just a printed fabric, so the back doesn't have the modeling on it, but it's really enjoyable to stitch on. So loving this one for sure. And then just set that here. And then the second thing, I pulled out the Halloween calendar from Tiny Modernist. This one. And I actually tried to do a little bit of car stitching because, like I said, the drive to our to Kentucky and even to St. Louis. To Kentucky, it's 9 or 10 hours. Like I said, to St. Louis from here, it's about 4 or 5 hours, I want to say. And I wasn't able to stitch a ton because if I don't keep my eye on the road, I tend to get car sick. But I did put in a few. I finished a couple, and I'll show you those in a second. So my plan with this one is to stitch all of these individually and turn this into an advent calendar with like magnets that you can move as you kind of tick off the month of October leading up to Halloween. So that's the plan. I'm going to show you what I got done. So the last time I showed you this, I showed this in the whip parade, I had finished the Black Cat, the first block. So you guys have seen this one. And then in the car, I finished block number 2, the candy corn. I really liked how those turned out. They're like shine. You can really see the shine in the way the threads are and the colors that were chosen. She knows what she's doing. I love the Tiny Modernist. And then I started on number 3. So that's this one. Oops. This one here with the moon and the bats. So that was fun, a fun little project to take along. Like I said, I didn't make a ton of project progress on it because I just couldn't keep my head down. And then with the bumpy roads and stuff, it was hard to like really concentrate. So it slowed me down a lot because you can't like hit your holes in your fabric while you're bouncing it on the road. But I did, I was able to pull it out and make a little bit of progress. So I was happy about that. So those are the only 2 whips that I have worked on since my whip parade. I did have a new start, and I will show you that now. So I told you guys, I think I mentioned this in both of my last videos, that for Jolly July, I was gonna start this one. And it's called Christmas Wonderland by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and it's 205 by 118. I love this little town. So I actually saw this one finished on, it's Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches, but I wrote down which video. If you go to her day 25 of 25 days of stitching, she shows this finish. And when I saw that, I was like, I have to have it. So I went out and I paused her video and went out immediately and bought the pattern on Caterpillar Cross Stitch. That's hard to say. If you go out on their website, you have the option, I believe, to buy this as a full kit with the fabric and floss included. But I just bought the PDF file, and then I kitted it up myself with DMC. So I'm using all the called for DMC, and I actually decided to stitch this on more of this Stormy Night because I really like the modeling. This can be like a spooky night sky, but I felt like it could also be like a winter sky. And since this is like an all outdoor theme, I thought it was the perfect fabric. Plus I'm enjoying stitching on the fabric itself. So I went out to Lindy Stitches and I just bought a half yard of this because I liked it so much that I'm sure I'll find something else for it as well. So this is what I've decided to stitch it on. Again, you can find this, there's the information on the name and everything, and you can find it on Lindy Stitch's website. So that was part of my haul. But so I'm meant to start this on July 1st for Jolly July, but the fabric didn't come in. I ordered it too late, until yesterday. So I did this last night. Where's my board at? Find something to put behind this. And I started in the center, which is where I typically start things. And I started on that tree. So the main Christmas tree in the square is where I started. And that's just one night of stitching, and not a long time of stitching. We did go down to our church last night and watch some fireworks that our little town was putting on. So I wanted to finish the tree. My goal yesterday was to finish that tree before I showed you guys, and then we got off to more adventures, so I couldn't stitch anymore. But yeah, I think it's gonna look really nice on this fabric. And then this needle minder is one that I made. I know I get a lot of questions in my comments about where I find my needle minders, and a lot of these that are just the enamel pins are just that. They're just pins that I found on eBay, and then I pop the backs off. Let me show you. I pop the back off, like the stick pin part, and then I found these little magnets on eBay, or on Amazon. So I found the pins on eBay, I popped the pin part off, and then I super glued these little magnets on the back that I found from Amazon. I'll link that stuff below, but they're super strong. And they hold your needles really well. The needles do not fall off in the bag. They definitely hold them really, really well. So I like them. So if you see any of these like little cartoony metal like enamel pins that are needle minders that I use, it's typically ones that I have made myself. So this is Good Noodle. It's from it's a SpongeBob reference. So those are super fun, if you're curious. So that was my new start. And that's really fun. I'm excited to work on that. That one will probably take me a little while, but I'm excited to work on that. It's fun working on Christmas stuff. I haven't worked on Christmas things in a while. And Halloween. I've been enjoying both right now. So let's see. Let me make sure that is everything. That was the life update and my whips and the new starts. One new start that I have planned that is coming up on July 15th is a stitch along that I'm hosting with Megan from Sassy Southern Stitcher. It's this Away We Ride pattern by Blackbird Designs, and this is actually my very first Blackbird that I'll ever stitch. So that's exciting. I know Blackbird Designs is super popular in the stitching community. And I don't know if I'm gonna stitch this border or not, but I'm definitely gonna stitch this inside part, and I may rearrange the words a little bit, but I'm gonna have some fun and play around with it and not stitch it as it's charted, just because. And then I decided I'm also going to go a different direction in the color of the fabric. So I'm gonna stitch mine on this, which is 28 count Seraphim Lugana in the color Fool's Gold, which is really, really pretty, and a lot brighter than what the pattern calls for. I know there's some oranges here in the pattern that are very similar to this color. So in that case, I may change up some colors as well. But yeah, you can follow along with Megan and myself on Instagram. You can find her over there on Instagram too as a Sassy Southern Stitcher, or Megan McBride. She might be over there as either one of those. But this is another needle minder that I made. I have several of those from Peanuts because I'm a Peanuts fan. So I'm excited to start this one on July 15th with her. And she actually posted a post on her Instagram feed, and several people have already said that they were interested and they're going to join us. So if you want to join along, go ahead and get it kitted up, and we're going to start that on July 15th. So excited about that one. Okay, so that's that. The new starts and the plan. Just for future plans, I think I'm gonna just continue to work on the things that I just showed you. I'm definitely the Christmas Wonderland. I'm gonna continue to work on this and just try to make some progress on that in the month of July and get the Away We Ride started on July 15th. Continue stitching on my Judah Kirby's, and maybe throw in some a couple of more of those calendar pieces from the Tiny Modernist from Cheryl. So that's that. The next thing that I will talk about before I go into haul is something super fun that happened. If you guys follow Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching, featured me in their silver and gold segment. So I was their the gold mentioned this week, and I'll pop that footage in here if you missed it.
Our gold Flosstuber is a lovely gal from Northwest Arkansas.
Yes.
And her channel was more or less recommended to us. Her name is Maggie, and her channel is Homemade on the Ridge.
Yes.
And she has been making videos since last September.
So technically she is the newer one.
But she's made more videos.
Yes, I got it.
But it all evens out.
Yeah,
all comes out in the
601,
wash.
yeah.
She's made 16 regular videos and some extras, some Flosstube extras. She's very much into cross-stitching as home deck.
Yes.
And
which obviously we are as well.
Yeah, and she likes the whimsical holiday-themed designs.
Yep.
She's working through all the Bent Creek photo booth series,
Which is amazing.
and it prompted me to do an inventory and make sure we have them all in our stash. She's got some very creative finishing ideas because, again, home deck. She's definitely a Disney fan, so keep that in mind.
Yes.
And her extra videos are pretty much home tours, which is always fun.
I love that.
So go check out Maggie in Homemade on the Ridge.
And fun fact about Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay, so despite popular belief, Keepsakes is open the week after StitchCon Weekend B. A lot of people think that we just closed down for that week, and that is not true because we have all of the trunk shows and stuff that need to be sent back to the owners, and then we just need to get the shop and stuff in order. So our vacation from Keepsakes is closed. Keepsakes vacation is the first week of July. So anyway, so we're all at work last week. Okay. And I believe it was 6 days ago. So it was Monday of last week. And I'm at the shop, and in walks this adorable woman with the cutest, when I tell you it was the cutest bob haircut I have ever seen in my life. I mean, it made me, I know that people, I know you all are clocking how long my hair has gotten. Okay. I know you are. And I love it. But man, oh man, did this bob make me want to go back. And this bob was on the head of Maggie at home on the ridge. Okay, homemade on the ridge, excuse me. And look at this cute picture of us. Come on, don't. Look how cute we are. Look at her bob. It's so great. Oh, I love it so much. And I mean, Maggie was a joy, and it was so lovely to meet her. And I've heard about her, knew about her, all the things. And so I was like, well, you just missed all the StitchCon nuts.
Right.
And she said, I know, I did that on purpose. So, and I met her husband, and it was just all wonderful. So, love you, Maggie. And I know that when I have to tell, I don't think I told Maggie this because it happened after I saw her, but I like immediately got a message from Kef, and she was like, you got to meet Maggie. And I was like, I did get to meet Maggie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So it was a joy. Go check out her channel. She's lovely. All the things.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So that was so much fun. I was so just excited to hear my name. You know, I had just met Steph in person when we had visited Keepsakes a week prior. And so what a surprise that was. I've been a longtime viewer of them. They're cross-stitch legends. I mean, they're almost in their, I don't know, like almost to their 400th floss tube. So they've been doing this a long, long time. Legends. Okay. And for them to, you know, shout me out and say such nice things, that was really, really fun. And since my husband had met Stephanie as well, I called him in and had him watch that same segment that I just showed, and he got a kick out of it too. It was really fun. So thank you guys so much for shouting me out and bringing a lot of new people to the channel. If you are coming over from watching their floss tubes, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the things that you see over here on my channel as much as you do the wonderful, wonderful things that Stephanie and Pam show on theirs. Legends, they are legends. Anyway, so 2 more things, haul and the giveaway winners. So I will show you the haul really quickly. It is all cross stitch related, so I think you might enjoy this. So whenever I went to St. Louis to help with my sister, with my niece in her apartment, they have a Michaels there, and we don't have a Michaels here in our little neck of the woods here in Northwest Arkansas. So anytime I go anywhere that has a Michaels, I like to just pop in, especially this time of year, because they start putting out their Halloween decor pieces, and you know, they have a lot of Christmas decor that comes out a little later in the year, and I don't get to shop that stuff in person, and it's just different when you you know, shop it online is totally different than like seeing it in the store. And so I did pick up a couple of things from their new Halloween line. I found this this ribbon. This is just like the pom-pom ribbon in Halloween colors, so orange, purple, and black. And I thought those would be really fun to do some smalls with. So I picked those up. I love this purple. Purple and orange together and black. I just love that for Halloween, and green. Those are like really fun colors for Halloween that I've always enjoyed. So I picked those up, and then the big thing that I purchased was this this haunted Halloween house shelf. Is there a tag on it? I don't think, this one doesn't have a tag on it, but if you go online to michaels.com, if you don't have a Michaels near you, you can find this house. I believe it was, it was like $40 something. It was kind of expensive, but I mean, it has cut throughs, and it's extremely well made, very detailed. I mean, I think it's worth the price. The back is just plain with the windows cut out, and it has the spider web detailing. But I got this because I thought it would be really cute to put in like Halloween smalls, like for little pillows and things, or tiny little finishes. So my plan is to fill this up with Halloween smalls and then display this somewhere in our house. How fun is that? I love this piece so much. I actually saw it online first, and you know, I couldn't really tell if it was something that was, you know, good quality or not, and it looked like, you know, it was kind of expensive online, and so I waited to purchase it. And then when I saw it in store, I mean, I snatched this up. There was 2 on the shelf, and I snatched this up as fast as I could, and I'm so happy with it. I'm glad I got it. I'm excited to fill this with you know, handmade treasures. So there's that piece. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink. Okay, before I show you my Keepsakes haul, and I also have some stuff that I ordered from 123 Stitch, I'm gonna show you this. So this basket I found at, it was the Walmart. It was a Walmart in like near St. Louis, in the St. Louis area. I forget where that little town is that we were. It's where my niece is now, is near her apartment. But it's just this boat basket. And I've been looking for something. So let me just tell you a little bit about why I bought this. So at night, I typically like to stitch on our sectional in our living room, and I spread all out. You know, a lot of the times if I'm stitching a pattern that's on my iPad, I'll have my iPad on one side of my lap, and then the bag, you know, my project bag and all my threads and little scissors and everything on my other side of my lap. And I mean, I'm just spread out right on our sofa table, or on our couch, on our sectional. And a lot of the times I'll get really involved in what I'm doing, and I don't want to stop, even though I have to stop for the night. So when I leave the project there on the sectional with the intention of coming right back to it the next night, and so it sits there all day long. And I don't really like that. I kind of like to just everything in their place kind of thing. I just like everything to be picked up. And so I've been looking for a solution to tuck my stitching away and keep it there in the living room so that I have easy access to it. And I found this basket, and it is absolutely perfect to hold project bags. So this holds all of my current whips. All of the whips that I showed you in my whip parade fit in this basket. And then it slides underneath our coffee table and just tucks in there nicely. And so when I get done with something that I'm working on, I just pop it right back in the bag and stick it in the basket and slide it under the table, and it's there. And then the next night I can come in, and then I literally can pick from whatever project that I have that's currently, you know, a work in progress, and just start stitching again. And I love the convenience of this. I love how large it is, and I love that it tucks away underneath our coffee table. So I actually went out online and found it. Where is that? I printed it for you in case you wanted the information. Let's see if you can get this. But if you go to walmart.com, the brand is Better Homes and Gardens. And I believe in the tag that was on it said boat basket. And I don't have that tag anymore. I'm sorry, I should have saved it. But I think you can find it on walmart.com if you just search Better Homes and Gardens basket or boat basket, and you can purchase it there. It is $25.92 online if you're interested. I love it. It's great quality, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I was looking for, and I've been using it, and it's a perfect solution for keeping my stitching area tidy when I'm not stitching. So that was a fun find. And I think that was all of the pattern things that I got. So I will show you the haul. So recently I went out on 1-2-3 Stitch and picked up 4 patterns, and I'll show you these. So Joy from the Carolina Stitchers, she showed this, I think in her whip parade. She was working on this, and it's by Lizzie Kate, and it's Dear Santa, I've Been Good, number 187. And again, when she showed this pattern, I hit pause and I went out to 1-2-3 Stitch and I added it to my cart immediately. Like, it is so stinking cute. I love all the little motifs. I love the font. Lizzie Kate is just awesome. I love her patterns. So I picked that one up. Thank you, Joy, for the inspiration. And I saw somebody stitch this. I can't remember who finished this recently. It's called Stand Firm by Sweet Wing Studio, an Abraham Lincoln quote. And I just love this one so much. Oh, Sherry Moss, I think. I'll link her below. I think she finished it recently. I saw it on her Flosstube. But it's so cute. I love this as a 4th of July finish, or even a summer decor finish. And this will be the first one that I've ever stitched from this designer too. So I picked that one up. I think it was Sherry. And then this one is a fun one. It's by Hello from Liz Matthews, and it's called Boo Spook Haunt. Isn't that adorable? My friend Emily from, gosh, Emily, I just forgot your channel again. If you don't follow Emily out here on Flosstube, she's one of my favorites, so go check her out. I will link her channel below. But she got this one, or she talked about it. She doesn't do Halloween. However, she did say that if she were to stitch something, this would be something like along her, more of her aesthetic, but something that she would stitch and enjoy and put out for Halloween. So I had picked this one up too, and I think it's so fun. I love it too. You have good taste, Emily. What is her channel name? Shady Grove Stitcher. I knew it would come to me. Sorry. Shady Grove Stitcher. Anyway, so there's that one. And then I've been collecting these, like anytime I go, like I have like there's one in particular, like a pattern in particular that I want, and I add it to cart. I always add one of these hawk runs to cart with it because I'm just trying to build my collection. So I didn't have this one. This one's called Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. And it is just ginormous and beautiful. I've seen this at our at the Cecilia's Samplers, one of my LNS that's nearest me in Branson, Missouri. It's stitched and hung on the wall, and it's gorgeous. But for any of you that have attempted hawk runs, you know they're just intense, but they're incredible when they're finished and hanging on the wall. So I picked this one up just to add to my collection. So that was my 1, 2, 3 stitch haul. And my next haul was from Keepsakes. So I picked up a few patterns from there. And a fun little needle minder just to commemorate our trip. That's of the little house, which is really cool because it reminds me of the architecture and, you know, all the things that my husband was interested in while he was there too. So it's just kind of a little memento or souvenir from our trip that reminds me of that. So I got that needle minder, and then I got like 4 other patterns. So this one, I had not seen this one before. It's by Lucy Beam, Lucy Beam Love and Stitches, called The Lake House. And I just love the waves on this one. Very, very, very cute pattern. It's gonna be a lot of stitching, but I think it's gonna be beautiful when it's done and hanging up for summer. So I got that. And then I got, this is by Annie B's Folk Art, and it's called October 31st. I've seen this one stitched. I believe Sarah has stitched this one. I'll link her channel below as well. Very cute. But I had this in mind because I'll stitch it on like a 18 or 20 count, and to try to make it really tiny, and maybe this will be one of the pieces that goes in that little haunted house. I really like that. It's very fun. And then I picked up this one. This is one that I didn't have before, but I have a lot of the Prairie Schoolers for Halloween, but I don't have many for Christmas. I have just a couple. I didn't have this one. It's called Santa's Night. This one was finished and hanging on the wall at Keepsakes. And when you see the ones that are just finished and hanging, it just is so inspiring. It just makes you want to stitch them. So I picked this one up, and I'm excited. Sorry about that glare. I'm excited to stitch that one. I love the Prairie Schooler patterns. They're just so awesome. And then I picked up another hawk run that I didn't have. This one was also finished and framed at Keepsakes. They have like a Christmas and Halloween room. I showed that in the video. So I picked this one up. as well. These are incredible when you see them fully stitched and hanging. Oh, they take forever to stitch probably, especially if you're me and can't ever get a moment to sit down and stitch. But man, oh man, they are gorgeous when they're finished. So I got that as well. So that was my haul. And I think that's everything that I was going to share with you today except for the giveaway winners. So I will take you through those. So if you caught not the whip parade, but the video before that, I had mentioned that I was going to do 3 giveaways. The first, so to win, you had to make a comment, add a comment, and tell me what you were stitching or what you were loving. You know, favorite designers or whatever. And then also for these, you had to put the word basket. So these were the hands-on design, summer basket, and autumn basket. And the winner of these patterns is Carol Daughtery 9240. So congratulations, you win the 2 basket patterns. And I'll link you below. So for the winners, I will also have my email address there in the description box below. And just email me and send me your mailing address and I'll get these off to you in the mail. The next winner that I had was for these 2 patterns. So this is the Primrose Cottage Patriotic Quaker and Red, White, and Blue Quilt. So one winner for these 2 patterns. And this one, I had the person, if they wanted to win, say cottage in their name or in their comment. And this one, the winner of this one is Jane Moore 2547. So congratulations, Jane. You win the Primrose patterns. And then the last one are these 2 patterns. The first was this Tiny Modernist Strawberry Mouse pattern, and this one is Plum Street Samplers. This is the Day pattern. I love this one so much. I can't wait to start stitching this one. I had actually kitted this up. I finished this one, fully finished this one already with, we did a SAL with a bunch of friends last year. That was really fun. And then this one I had bought 2 of because I loved it so much. So that's why I had decided to give one of them away. But I have it fully kitted. I just have never started it. But the winner of this one is K-StateStitcherJaimeeH. And she had to say the word strawberry and tell what she was stitching. So congratulations, you 3. If you will, like I said, email me. I'll leave my email address in the description box. And if you'll send me your address, I'll get those mailed off to you this week. So I think the only other thing that I was going to mention, in a video or 2 back, I noticed in the comments somebody had asked, or they had noticed that some of my whips had like a zigzag edge. And most of the fabrics that I have that are currently works in progress, they are not, you know, the edges are not, what do you call that? Now I've forgotten my words again. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe it'll come to me, maybe it won't. So they won't fray. They're like sewn so they won't fray. There's a word for that and it's escaping my brain. Anyway, to get around that, because most of the time, it's a serger. So if you're not able to serge your fabric, one thing that I have found that helps is to use these scissors with the jagged edge. So if you cut them, stops the fraying process. And so a lot of my whips you'll see have a zigzag edge, and it's because I've cut them with these. And they have a name too, and I don't have a clue what it's called. Shears or something. I don't know. Anyway, you can find them on Amazon. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. Any craft store has them in the sewing section. So yeah, so that helps too. I thought I would mention that since somebody had asked if it really worked. It works for me. I rarely have anything that I am stitching on serged unless, yeah, I mean rarely, because most of the fabrics that I buy are larger than I need, so I have to cut them down anyway. So I use those scissors to cut the edge down to keep it from fraying while I'm stitching it. So yeah, that's it. That's everything I have for you. If you're in the States, hope you enjoy your 4th holiday. Stay safe and enjoy your family and friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.